You know that quiet, nagging feeling that you're somehow falling behind in life? I think it's a feeling pretty much all of us know. So today, we're going to dig into that. We're going to unpack exactly what's going on and maybe, just maybe, find a whole new way of looking at it. Yeah, it usually starts with a question kind of like this one. You look around, you take stock of everything, and this thought just hits you out of nowhere. Is the clock ticking faster for me than it is for everybody else? It is a heavy, heavy feeling, and trust me, if you felt it, you are definitely not alone. And what usually triggers it, right? It's what we see happening all around us. It seriously feels like everyone else is hitting these huge milestones. They're getting promotions, they're in great relationships, they're making big life changes. You can see their lives moving forward, and you feel like you're just standing completely still. So, where does this pressure actually come from? Well, the first piece of this whole puzzle is understanding that you might just be racing against an illusion, competing on this invisible track that was laid out for you a long, long time ago. I mean, think about it like this. From the time we're young, we're basically told there's a certain path, right? Graduate by this age, have a career by that age, have your whole life figured out by 25. But wait a minute, who set up this racetrack? We're running as hard as we can, but it's on a course we never actually chose for ourselves. And this right here is the absolute key. The timelines that cause us so much stress, they're often just ideas we inherited from society or our families. They were never custom built for our lives, for our unique journey. But we treat them like there's some universal blueprint for success. Okay, but it's not just pressure from the outside. That feeling, it also gets cranked up to 1,000 from the inside. Our own minds play a huge role in tricking us, and a lot of the time we don't even realize it's happening. And oh boy, here is a major culprit. Social media gives us this constant, never ending stream of achievements, success stories, and what look like perfect lives. But what we don't see is, well, everything else: the failures, the confusion, the years of slow, grinding, painful progress that led to that one shiny moment. We're literally comparing our entire messy, behind the scenes reality to someone else's highlight reel. Look, our brains are basically wired to compare things. It's a shortcut to figure out where we fit in the world. But that shortcut has a really dangerous flaw. We're always comparing our internal reality with someone else's external performance. We take all of our private doubts, our insecurities, our struggles, and we stack them up against their public, polished achievements. It's a game you can never, ever win. So, this all leads to a really important point. That feeling of being left behind, it's not a fact. It's a perception. It's a story that our mind builds using incomplete, biased data. Now, the feeling is absolutely real, I get that, but the conclusion it leads to? Almost always false. And this is exactly why that direct comparison is so messed up. Not everybody starts the race from the same line. Person A might have a ton of support and resources. They basically got a head start. Meanwhile, person B is over here figuring it all out completely on their own, starting from a dead stop. How could you ever fairly compare where they are in the race? You just can't. So, if the race is an illusion and our minds are kind of tricking us, what's the alternative? This is where we get a really powerful shift in perspective. What if feeling stuck isn't about standing still at all? What if it's actually about building something in the background, something nobody else can see? I absolutely love this metaphor. Before any skyscraper can shoot up into the sky, a massive, massive amount of work has to happen below the surface, right? You're digging, you're pouring foundations, you're setting up all this support. It's slow, it's messy, and it's completely invisible to the outside world. But without all that underground work, nothing can be built. And this is what we can call your building phase. It's that time in your life when you are doing the hard internal work. You're learning things, you're healing, you're growing, you're figuring stuff out. It doesn't produce those shiny achievements you can post online, but let me tell you, it is the most essential work you will ever, ever do. For years, so many of us have just been torturing ourselves with this question: Am I behind? It's a question that's born from comparison and anxiety, and it leads absolutely nowhere good. So it's time to just throw that old question out and replace it with a new, way more powerful one. Instead of asking, Am I behind? Ask yourself, What am I building right now? See how that feels? That simple shift just brings all the focus back to your process, and it honors all the valuable, invisible work you're doing. And when you make that shift, it reveals this incredible truth. You're not late. You're not failing. You are simply in the early foundational stage of your own unique process. And that is exactly where you need to be. Okay, so let's bring all this home. This new way of thinking is about more than just feeling a little better. It's about finally finding and actually trusting your own unique pace in life. I want you to remember this. You are not behind. You are on a different path. Everyone else's map isn't going to work for you because you are headed to your own unique destination. You are not late. You are moving on a timeline that is 100% yours, a cosmic rhythm that you can't rush and you definitely can't compare. And you are not lost. You're exploring. This part of the journey is all about discovery, about charting the unknown territory of who you are becoming. You're just in that crucial, foundational part of the journey, the building phase. It's the part that doesn't get all the applause, but it is the entire reason for all the success that's coming. So I'll just leave you with this final thought to chew on. What if all this anxiety, all this worry is just misplaced? What if your life isn't delayed at all, but is actually unfolding perfectly?